everyone. Welcome back. It's Laura. Thanks for joining me today. If you're new here, I'm coming to you from Connecticut, Zone 6. And the weather is kind of crazy right now. It's pretty chilly at night. We're having several frost warnings over this next week. So that's why the greenhouse is so full right now. I have a lot of stuff that I'm just holding on to before I can bring it out. I did want to talk about some of the things that I'm going to be covering and how I'm going to be covering them for this week for the upcoming frosts. So let's go outside and have a look at those things. So first up, if you have seen my last couple videos, you know that I picked up a beautiful purple columbine that I put in this window basket, and they can handle pretty cold temperatures, but because this one is in bloom, the blooms are a little bit more delicate than the foliage itself. So I'm going to cover this. All I did was wrap it in a little bit of frost cloth and then cover it with an open Snapple bottle. Snapple is my favorite. I'm obsessed. So hopefully that will provide some protection for the blooms. The temperature that we're supposed to reach is like 27, I believe. I'm not going to bother covering things like alyssum or pansies. That those can just handle that kind of temperatures. Actually, there's quite a few things that I have planted out that can handle 27 and a light frost. So this is going to be kind of an experiment. For my big purple pot here, I'm just covering it with a light frost cloth. There's really not too much that I'm concerned about in here. There's an English daisy. There's some tulips that have come up. Sometimes the tulip foliage will get nipped by the frost, but that really wasn't happening with these temperatures. More like 17, 20, that kind of temperature. And then again over here, I just covered lightly my Jacob's ladder because it is in bloom. And I covered my little mushroom planter thing pretty much just to hold that frost cloth in place. And then in the front, I think I am going to cover these. I have some hoops that I'm going to put in, and then I'll just cover them with like sheets. This is hollyhocks, bachelor's buttons, and lollipop verbena. They've been fine so far. I actually think that they can probably handle this, but I am going to cover them, so let's do that. So here they are covered up, and I just put the hoops in, and then I covered them with sheets, and I didn't, I actually left a little section at the end here uncovered. Like I said, I kind of just wanted to experiment to see what would happen. So the low last night, it got down to about 27 degrees. And everything looks good. The bachelor's buttons, I swear they like it. They like the cold. You see how they perk up? The hollyhocks are looking great. And actually, I don't know if you remember, but I planted some delphinium seedlings in here. They were doing terribly. And some of them are starting to recover in the ground. You can see like this one. I thought for sure they'd just all die, but some of them looks like they're gonna live. So as far as the frost, we're looking good. I think the verbena is the one that's the most sensitive to the cold. And it did get, you know, like this, sometimes they get like a purpley foliage when they get cold. That's not just verbena, that's a lot of plants. But they handled it. So we're happy. And this side looks good too. And actually, when I came to uncover things, there were a few hollyhocks that were sticking out. that weren't covered. And they're fine. And I have a row in the backyard of way smaller ones. I didn't cover them at all, and they're fine. I'll show you now. Here are the smaller ones that I planted. I only planted these like a week ago in here, these little seedlings. And I did not cover them at all, and they are fine. I kind of just forgot that I put them in here. But honestly, hollyhocks can handle a light frost. There's a lot of things that can. So when people say like you absolutely cannot plant anything before Mother's Day or even Memorial Day in Zone 6, it just is not true, guys. If you are looking up what you're planting before you plant it and you know it can handle a frost, go ahead and plant it if you want because it's your garden. Okay. TED Talk over. I did want to touch on hydrangeas for a second because I have seen that is a popular question that people have is should they cover their hydrangeas for a late spring frost? And I would say that is a personal decision. I know there are different types of hydrangeas. Some bloom on old wood, some bloom on new wood. That will affect your decision. Personally, I do not cover my hydrangeas at all. The only reason that I have ever covered them was because we had a very low sub-zero temperature late spring freeze a couple years ago. Otherwise, I don't cover mine for such occasions. And the beautiful columbine did just fine as well. Let me let you in on a little bit of a secret, you guys. All of these things that I covered, the very next night, we had a worse frost, and I did not cover anything. I had a feeling that everything that I have is pretty much acclimated to the temperatures. I gave it a little bit of a roll of the dice, and everything was fine. Moral of the story, everything's fine. But of course, these were light frosts. If they were a little bit lower temperatures, something more harsh, more precautions would have been taken. I'm trying to take some chances for you guys to do some experiments. I'm risking it for the biscuit. Is that the right use of that term? I hope. Oh boy. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me in this video. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.